You're listening to the Energy is Love podcast.
Do you want a LaCroix? You got one. Since we both forgot to ask each other.
I didn't forget to ask you.
You didn't ask me.
I just didn't ask you. Sorry. It's all good. It's because
I'm sorry. Did you hear what it said? It said, bitch.
You said bitch. Oh my
That's how
goodness.
it sounds.
That's the sound that your LaCroix makes?
Yeah. That was for you, though.
So what are we talking about tonight? Do you have anything that is immediately...
It's called consideration.
Jumping forth.
Consideration.
Consider this. What?
I thought that was your rebuttal against my sass.
Did you think I was coming in hot?
Mm-hmm.
Coming in hot. How does that song go?
I don't think that is a song.
I know that's a song.
Coming in hot.
Yeah.
I know a lot of songs.
Welcome to the Energy is Love podcast. If you're just joining us, we have a new adornment. We actually have a couple of new adornments on our table that have significance.
I love this color.
Right?
Love that color.
So we've got a purple candle that'll be there for probably the next 300 episodes until the candle burns down. And then we've got some other things back here. If you ever have questions about what's on our table, you can just call us.
You can just
call us. Our phone number is listed on the website.
It probably is.
No, email us, hit us up on Instagram. I'm a Justy McJuster here.
Yeah, do it. I'm trying to find a... Why can't I...
What are you trying to find?
A picture I have in here. I'm like, why can't I see it? And then I realized because I don't have my glasses on.
Can you feel how it's warm up here?
It is. Is that your heat?
No.
I can feel the heat from you, baby. Name that song.
I can feel the heat from you, baby.
Oh, wait. Oh, it's not I can feel the heat. It's let me feel the heat from you, baby. Let me feel shit. Sorry, Kelly. I think I'm mislyricking you. It is.
How do we get her on the podcast? What is she doing right now? I don't think she's doing anything
she's
right.
Not busy, right? Do you have time?
Successful TV show,
right.
Host of The Voice. I think she released a Christmas album.
She's got some kids.
She's definitely got some things on her plate. Kelly, we will cook you up some delicious food. Come on over.
By we mean he.
Yeah, I'll cook her up some delicious food.
Yeah, not that I'm not willing. I'm just kind. Actually, I can cook. That's a false story. I will make you a dessert. I'll bake a cake.
How into
I'll make some cookies.
American Idol were you when it first came out?
When it first came out? Oh, I was all about it.
Yeah. Was she the first season?
She was.
And Justin won, right?
No,
she
won.
Runner. She won?
She won.
I thought Justin won.
Nope. She won.
Okay. Yeah, that's a big deal.
I'm willing to place wagers.
That's a big deal. I'm glad that she's still around. I think it obviously goes to show the talent that she's got.
Right?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that have won that competition. Who?
Yeah, I can name two.
Season 74 winner? Who? Right? Nobody knows. Kelly, and then who else? Jennifer Hudson?
Oh, yeah, Jennifer Hudson.
Is that one?
She is.
Okay.
I believe she won.
What else? Anybody else stand out?
Well, I think they won, but I don't know. They might have just got an album anyways, or they might have won the whole thing. Carrie Underwood?
Oh, I think she won.
I think she won.
Yeah, obviously that's a big deal.
Yeah, she's...
Country.
I mean, she's not Kelly Clarkson, but...
You don't think so? You're a bigger fan of Kelly?
I'm a bigger fan of Kelly.
That's just because you like brunettes.
I'm still a bigger fan of Kelly when she's got her hair blonde.
Figured that one out.
Right? I got a type. What? Everybody
Did you have anything that was jumping out? We didn't touch base before we ran upstairs to record.
No, we didn't. We have... I have a list. I have something over here from last week. I think I did actually write something. Let me double check. But anything jumping out? No. If that's code for you, have something jumping out?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean, I obviously I do, right? I mean, we always have stuff.
Yeah.
There's always lots and lots of stuff to talk about on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Like win our tapestry. Go to Instagram. You can win the tapestry this month. Yeah. What else?
We can talk about co-regulation and feelings and working on stuff together.
First off, I want to know what happened at Solberg's. Solberg's is the grocery store in our town.
I'll tell you later.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Damn it, I forgot to ask you that. I was going to ask you that.
And you thought now was a good time?
I didn't know what it was. Actually, I think I know what it is. Let's see if I know. No, you're hiding it now. You're trying to hide it. Anyways, yes, the co-regulation was the thing that you brought up the other day.
I can still feel you probing.
What are you talking about? Coming in from the behind. Yesterday. When our troubles seem
I
so
heard that
far
one.
away.
That's right where it was. Yesterday, what?
The co-regulation thing, you brought it
Okay.
up.
Okay.
I'm excited to hear about it because it seemed like something that I was not going to be happy about, but yet was going to have insight. There's a lot of things right now I'm learning that I'm not happy about.
Okay.
But they still give me insight into the said path of Craig. The Craig path.
I guess it's just a different perspective because you have the strong proponents of the, oh gosh, I don't even know how to go about this. I don't know if I'm giving caveats that I don't need to. I was going to give excuse my way into why I think this is a good thing.
Yeah, let's hear it.
But I'm just gonna go right to it. So co-regulation, from the way I heard it and the way I understand it to be, is when you and your partner are in it together. So one of them is, well, for an example, a hurt from a past relationship.
Okay,
a trigger, say, well, just somebody was cheated on in their past relationship.
Okay.
So they get together with a new partner who has not cheated on them.
Okay.
But then they have, now this does not cover, I got to do it anyways. This does not cover narcissistic behaviors. It doesn't cover abuse, when somebody's just holding tight, not letting you move. We are talking about healthy relationships with a little, some sprinkles on it, right?
Yeah. Healthy relationships with sprinkles.
With sprinkles, saying that nobody, everybody's got a little something on top.
Yeah, everybody's done with something.
Exactly.
Even in super healthy relationships, right?
That's what I said. Everyone.
There's always work.
There's always something. So when you get together knowing that you've got a hurt from a past one, now it is not this person's job to heal you or fix you or change everything. However, what happens is when they understand that you have a hurt, and when you express that, also in a way of you're insecure, you have fear around this, they work with you instead of being I didn't do that to you, or even I did that, but I'm not responsible for your feelings. So when they are able to work with it, this isn't me, but just sit in that space and be with you, not taking it over, but be with you in that space. So you have this togetherness. And then that helps regulate. So when think about, this is a terrible example to go from one to the other, but think about when a baby has a fever. What is the best method?
Put it on the mama.
Put it on skin to skin, just boom, on the mom, on the dad, just skin to skin, just that holding in the baby. You use co-regulation for the temperatures, and that can help build bonds and trust, regardless of whether or not you broke it, and help the person heal faster. So, and that's again, not saying people are putting everything on the other person and this person's supposed to carry it. That is not what this conversation is. It isn't just healthy relationships aspects we're talking. So you take that, and if there has been a distrust in a partnership and that person still is having triggers, however long, being you should be over this by now. I said I was sorry. It's all the things that could come with it, or where you could be feeling defensive.
Yeah.
And so it's causing you to be reactive.
Yeah.
Instead, just hearing oh, here's this pain, and being with them in that moment, and to help co-regulate, which is also going to, again, build trust, make that healing a little faster. And it's not this person's responsibility. They can absolutely opt out of that, or they can opt in. So it's a choice, and there's healthy ways to do it. If the person is always putting everything on you, and you have to try and make there's weights that aren't yours to carry. And there's also those that want to just fix everything, that will constantly throw themselves in, which isn't helpful. So it's these, Craig's waving for those that aren't watching.
That's this guy.
And if you're not watching, you should go to YouTube. It's quite funny. But so there's these healthy aspects.
Yeah.
Where co-regulation is a benefit, and it brings faster healing. So it's a tool. It's another tool. It's not saying it's the only tool, but I heard that. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
No. I want to, it sounds like you're going to answer. You said you heard, I wanted to hear what the impact of that information was on you.
It was it was kind of big for
Yeah.
me. Feeling like, first of all, that I had, permission to hurt if there's a hurt, that the fact that I want help, like if there's a hurt with you, I want you to sit with me.
Yeah.
That made it feel, I don't know, like I wasn't crazy, like I had permission, because so much of it is that you hear is, I didn't make you feel anyway. And even in that, I read an audiobook, Nonviolent Communication. That is like an unhealthy thing. Now, somebody saying, you made me, you made me, you made me, is a terrible. But when you take all responsibility away and do something that is hurtful to that person, and when they say, I'm feeling this way, like, I'm not doing that, that's you. You control how you feel. That's also, you see how it can be used as a weapon? No?
Absolutely.
Okay. Am I rambling too much? You look lost.
I'm not lost. I feel really guilty because I have said all of those things to you.
I'm not calling you out.
I know you're not. But it's hard because it's like when somebody says this exact thing to you is literally what I've said to you.
I'm aware.
Yeah, it sucks.
But anyways, so co-regulation is helpful and healthy, like within balance. I don't want to keep saying that I keep reminding them, like, I understand that what I'm saying is something that I don't have a right to ask for, and I'm not worthy of this, and I'm clearly weak, and you're right, I'm projecting all over the other person, like all of those things. And so I'm hearing that.
I thought that's what you were saying, right?
That's what my head is saying.
Okay.
That's why every time I start to like re-emphasize within balance, within healthy restraint or constraints, or however, if somebody is not willing to participate, they don't have to. I keep giving all these caveats because that's what the voice is telling me.
Right.
Because I need co-regulation. Can I do it without? Yeah.
Of course.
Definitely takes a lot longer, but
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's what we've been doing.
Right?
Right? It's so neat. I mean, the nice thing is that you and me have been hitting all ends of that spectrum, both with the healthy and the not healthy.
Yeah.
And we have all the examples of what not co-regulation looks like. And then we have some healthy examples of co-regulating.
We have some correct. We have some.
Do I have boogers?
I don't see any.
Okay.
We also have a lot of unhealthy examples of like from codependency, and like complete dependency, which swings way past the regulation.
Is this hard for you to talk about?
It is. I feel like I still don't have a right, that I'm just supposed to be over things, and I know that that's wrong.
Right.
So.
But the codependent thing as well, is that a hard topic?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's hard.
Okay.
We can talk about it.
Well, you and I haven't really talked about it.
You want to?
I don't know if you want to, because it's something that has been, in my awareness.
Yeah.
For the last little bit.
Okay. I am definitely feeling scared.
We don't have to. We also can, with the caveat of we can change topics at any given point. And
seeing how this is a brand new thing, and this may be like something that we're like, excuse us, this conversation is not for the podcast. Maybe we'll talk about it after, and then we just move on.
Totally.
Like, I reserve that right.
Should we just do that right now? Because we got other stuff.
We do have other stuff.
But I am fascinated by what you've been thinking and or feeling, or kind of the space that you're in with it. Because I've been super scared to bring it up.
I don't
want to do this on the podcast.
I don't want to do this on the podcast.
Okay. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, folks, that's a topic that we're going to discuss and maybe be shared in future episodes.
It may be, but the raw version is not for your viewing pleasure.
I think that's totally respectable.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally respectable, right?
I feel it is.
I think so.
Why do we keep reaffirming it then?
Because I want to make sure that you feel safe in making the decision that you just made.
Oh, I feel safe. I'm fine with it.
Okay. Moving on. I have a hard time moving on. I feel safe. That's probably why I keep reiterating it. That's the other thing that has been super aware in my space, is how much I project. So I'm recognizing that sometimes I will be saying something to you, or I will be bringing something to your attention, and the truth of it is it's just information for myself. It's something that I do, something that I'm doing, something that is like important for me. So I've been almost on the daily with everything that I like say to you. I'm thinking, is this really for me? Is this something that I'm bringing up because this is how I really feel, or this is what I really think? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you do that at all?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that also not a subject you want to discuss?
No, we can get into that.
I just find it fascinating.
Yeah.
And I know that we've been doing it our entire relationship.
Yeah.
But I somehow thought, what's really depressing for me? And depressing is too strong of a word, because this does not depress me. But it bums me out is how it's like how often I thought that I was not susceptible to the things that just humans are susceptible to.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I don't know if I explained that correctly, but I'm just recognizing like this dynamic of projecting onto somebody, or maybe that's not exactly what I'm talking about, but this whole thing of like, I will, highlight something that you're saying or something stands out and I'll mention it. But the truth is it's just something that I do or something that I need to look at or a part of.
Are you saying, so you don't see it in me at all? Is that what you're saying? You're just projecting it, or you see it?
I see it in you.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's necessarily something that you actually do or if it's just the mirror.
It's just the mirror.
Do you know what I mean?
I guess it could be either.
Probably both, right?
Right?
Yeah.
There's definitely that mirror aspect, and there's definitely that aspect of when you recognize it in others, it's that you have it in yourself.
Yeah.
So the mirror where it's just reflecting back, or it's a two-way glass and we are the mirror.
But that thing of when you recognize it in others, it's because you have it in you. I thought that I was above that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Where I thought I can recognize something, but that doesn't mean, the reason I can recognize is because I used to.
Oh.
And I have awareness now because I've learned from my,
I can see that about you.
I learned from my past, and I can see how much that was just my coping mechanism.
Yeah.
Like utter complete disconnect from reality.
Yeah.
Right. Because I'm seeing them left and right, and I'm like, oh, that's something I do. Oh, that's me right there. Oh, I have that thing. We've been having kind of not fun learning about our ADHD.
Yeah.
And how we both have had that pretty much our whole life, and all the ways that it's like the other day when I realized I have this thing where I need lotion, like my hands are really dry and I have to put lotion on my hands, and I have certain times where that's okay. Really the only time that that's comfortable for me is at bed. Mm-hmm. Any other time causes me like immense anxiety about having lotion on my hands. Mm-hmm. So I'll do things like put it on the back of my hands, but not on the fronts, because I can't have stuff between my fingers and what I'm touching.
You're neurodivergent as well as ADHD.
Right.
I see in you what I see in myself.
But see, I used to just chalk that up to like a quirk. The whole lotion thing was like, it's not a big deal. It's just a quirk. It's not a big, like, I don't even really fucking need lotion, so I don't even care. Right. It's not a big deal. And I just figured like workarounds around it.
I remember like you describing it to me when you were a cop.
Yeah.
It's like, because you can't have slippery hands when you're going to grab,
That
whatever
makes sense.
you need. It does. But you were like, you were being responsible.
Right. That's my workaround. Instead of just realizing, oh, I have super major issues with tactile things. And even like, we had an episode a few weeks back. There's a clip actually on YouTube. If you go watch it, Sticky Pinky, Sticky Pink. I had something on my finger at the very beginning of the episode. And it's so hard for me to function if I get something on my hands. I have to make the conscious awareness of like, we ate pizza last night. So I'm consciously aware of, I'm going to have things on my hands for this amount of time. And that's okay, because all I'm doing is chowing down on pizza. But as soon as I'm done eating pizza, I have to get it off of my hands. Mm-hmm. And like, if we're eating something that doesn't require me to like, acquiesce to the things on my hands, like if I'm actually using utensils and then I happen to get something on my hands, I have to immediately get it off. Like, what the fuck is this? I know you say neurodivergent, and I agree with that, but I still don't understand that entire concept. But I'm like, this is a major thing that I'm recognizing as a tactile, bizarro thing.
It is a major thing. And there's different like levels, and I think you do have it stronger than other people. But this is a common thing for men.
Oh, is it?
According to massage school. That was one of the things that they talked to us about is when we're going through and their palms are up, is to be careful when we're going down, to not put lotion on their hands on the palms. And so we can do it on the back, but try to work it. Obviously, if we have stuff,
brought that up at
they
massage?
brought it up. So a lot of guys can't handle that feeling. They get grossed out by the feeling of lotion or anything on their hands. And I was just like, okay. And
that's
interesting. I kind of, but I still worked it. I never had anybody be like, oh my God, you got it on my hands. So
wiping it on the
right?
wall.
No tip for you. Gross hands. So that's at least according to that one teacher.
I think it's just a guy thing.
That's a guy thing. Because it didn't even like imply that it was something you needed to have to be careful with women.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder I wonder if there's some like, caveman evolutionary aspect of it where
they got to hold their spears.
Right? We got to have our hands free and ready to go. We can't have stuff on our hands because those are our tools. Those are the things that we work with. So, it's like Costanza. I've got my model hands.
So that would make
I think
sense.
it's definitely also brain fuckery.
It is, absolutely. I said that first. You got a little worse than others.
Because it's upset. Now talking about it, yesterday was the awareness of it. Now talking about it, and I'm like, oh my God, it's very embarrassing. Because it's a big deal.
Oh, I didn't realize you were embarrassed.
Well, I'm not super embarrassed. It's just you, and I think about Barb out there listening and stuff, but I'm just now realizing how much anxiety it gives me. I can't focus on anything else.
That's okay.
Like as soon as I have lotion on the palms of my hands, that's where my attention is. I cannot, it's so hard for me to think past what's that, get this, even if I'm consciously like yesterday I put lotion on my hands consciously and made the decision and I still couldn't do it.
Yeah.
It was still like, get this off of me, get this off of me, get this off of me. Why is this on me? And I hurry up and try to rub it on all different parts of my arms and stuff so that it will get off of my hands. And I can handle lotion on other parts of my body, back of my hands, obviously. But there's just something about the palms and the fingertips.
That's okay.
I know it's okay. I'm not judging it.
Yeah.
I find it fascinating on one hand.
I think it's because you're ready to protect us all. You got to have those hands strong and grippy. Like,
I find myself fascinating.
Yeah, you are fascinating.
Like all the different things that I'm learning about myself and the formation of Craig and all the different workarounds that I've had my entire life to deal with my mental health, right? It's fascinating on one hand.
It is.
It's incredibly sad on the other hand.
It is both.
And then it's really depressing in the present moment.
Yeah.
But, well, I'm glad that we co-regulate.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we kind of figure, I really am. And I like the awareness that that's how you heal faster.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole thing of if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far.
Yeah. I like it and I like the validation of it and I still hate it.
How come? What's the part that hates it?
The part that I like saying that I need it. Like needing it, I hate. I think it's a beautiful thing. I don't want to need it. I do really good.
Feels like a weakness, yeah?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Like
even with the concept of we're going to go far because we go together?
Yes. Which is why I still reach out. I still do it. I am still willing and not just willing, but requesting that very much. And sometimes having a hard time when I don't get it. But it used to be much more where I was like, if I felt like I needed you, I would push you away. I would protect myself. I would get very scared because I felt like I was going to need you and give into that for anything and then not be able to trust you. And that fall was too hard. And so I would either not need people, or if I needed, I would take care of that myself.
Yeah.
You can see that. You saw.
Of course I can see that.
Me push you away a lot.
Been together for 10 years.
Right?
Of course I can see that.
I pushed.
Yeah. Are you
when I was
feeling
the scaredest.
uncomfortable right now?
Well, this is a hard topic. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's fine.
Yeah. Will you reiterate that I'm safe and I haven't done anything
That
wrong and you're not upset with me?
I am not upset with you. And you are
totally
safe.
okay?
You haven't done anything wrong.
Okay.
My fear is that I am saying things that are upsetting you.
Oh, yeah. I'm not
That's
upset
what
at
it
all.
feels like.
I'm really excited.
You're excited.
Yeah, I really
Okay.
like having some of these conversations. This is a space, like the inner workings of our relationship
Mm-hmm.
up until this point is a space that I feel like we need to mine
Yeah.
because it's going to give us insight. So it's like this really cool discovery process of literally looking at Craig and Steph for the past decade, because you and I have done some very interesting things to survive and stay together.
Yeah, we have.
And some of them have been really beautiful and healthy and have been like,
We have killed it at times.
oh my God, right? Some of them have been just so pure.
Look at our high selves go.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And then
And to balance that purity, some of them have been incredibly detrimental.
very, very toxic.
And so it's like, I want to go back and mine all of that information
Yeah.
because I'm seeing some of them play out in both realms, right? In the beneficial, healthy, balanced, beautiful place that we do things, which I see way more of that stuff because I think we do way more of that stuff now.
Mm-hmm.
But I still see some of the other things, but they're subtle and I'm having a hard time understanding them. So that's why I want to go back to the future with Marty McFly.
Yeah. Wow.
And mine our relationship in the ways that we've done things, especially when it comes to like coping. Because there's certain patterns that you and I have fallen into, I think, that have been very much survival coping patterns for, we've developed them before us and then we strengthened them together with us. And it's like some of those are still hanging around and they're not needed, but we fall into them.
Yeah.
One of the things that I just realized as you were talking, and I talked about, this will make sense to you, not so much to them, but that's okay. Making a big deal out of something that's really not a big deal.
Yeah.
Right. Had that thing yesterday that I was like, this is a big deal. Turns out it's really not. And I just thought about this conversation that you and I are going to have in the future about codependency. And I'm thinking it's a really big deal,
Yeah.
but I don't think it really is. My guess is that we're probably on the same page.
Yeah.
And I realized that I'm doing that thing where
Oh, my eye itches so bad.
because I'm going through something that's a really big deal,
Mm-hmm.
that's how everything looks.
Everything's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything seems like a mountain
Right?
when in reality, some of these things are like anthills.
You
at
already
the
have your
best.
oversized load going.
Mhm.
Everything's so heavy.
Yeah.
Adding anything to it is just like, oh my gosh.
So nerve-wracking,
Yeah. Feels so exactly.
but
Yeah.
I think we're okay.
I think yeah, I think so.
I don't think truthfully that we have that many big things on our plate right now.
Yeah.
I mean, the things that are on there are big, right?
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of them,
Yeah.
right? Wouldn't you agree? Or does it feel like a lot?
Let me feel on that.
Did you hear the innuendo?
I did.
She just shook her head. Let me feel on that. Damn it. That was naughty.
Because I'm like trying to be like in a real thought here. And I don't think I had awareness of that. And I had to really sit with that for a sec. And
The awareness of what?
that it's really not a lot. It's just what we have is big. And I'm like sitting here, I'm like, actually, that's true. I mean, I feel like we've got these like humongous mountains, boulders, and we have a few pebbles,
Right.
and there's not a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it at all.
Yeah.
If we stop and think about it, I think it's just because what we are dealing with is so big.
Yeah.
So big. So it's...
Also, whether this is like me trying to make it big or just having realization, like our boulders have rocks. Yeah, they have mini moons going around them.
Yeah.
Because it's, I don't know. Do you
It's a little
ever,
bit of both, right?
yeah, do you get worried that, how was I going to phrase that? Oh shit, it's gone.
Not coming back?
I just like how to say it. Do you ever worry that, I'll just do my best. I worry sometimes when it's like these layers that are deeper and deeper and that are more tied to trauma and aspects about personality and the way that, I don't know, we do things. How much of it is actually like tied to trauma and other agreements that aren't yours. Do you ever think that everything, like at some point, is there just nothing left of you? Like they strip everything away and turns out nothing is yours and there's nothing left.
I do have that fear.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to clarify that a little bit because I think that's an important topic, but I think that you didn't explain it very well.
Probably not.
I think I heard it because I know you. So the idea is...
Who else knows me? Anyone?
Lots of people that know you, babe. So the idea is that like you're a conglomeration of fucked up parts that stem from trauma. And there are so many of them that there's not any part in there that is actually you. And that every part is a systemic piece of trauma over the course of your life that has been kind of like twisted and mutilated and changed almost to the DNA level of these pieces and parts of yourself so that it's not you, it's just the trauma. And then it's like, who am I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that all the time.
Yeah.
I'm in the thick of that feeling right now. It's really hard.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, what works for me as of right now is leaning into like the curiosity of whether or not this is something that I like or this is something that I believe or that this is something like who I am, which has been hard at times, but also kind of fun. And then I also tend to... Like today we went, my nephew turns 12, our nephew. It's not just my nephew, right?
Cute.
But we went hiking with them. And a lot of it was me running around with him playing this game where we had to stay on the rocks. So there were big rocks, boulders, and smaller rocks. Anyway, it was a very rocky area, not just like pebbles or stones, right? Rocks that you could climb on and jump from rock to rock and that kind of thing. So the game was you have to stay on the rocks in order to avoid touching the ground, whether it's hot lava or...
Tremors.
It was Tremors, that great movie with Kevin Bacon. And it was so much fun. And I realized at some point that it was like... Because he's 12, and I remember what it was like being 12, and that's exactly what I would have done if I was 12.
Really?
That's the exact game that I would have played. And I probably would have literally played it thinking that it was Tremors. And that was like the impetus for it. Was like, oh, we have to go from, we can't touch because they'll hear. And then we have to, it would totally have been the exact game that I would have played.
Wow.
So that was a moment of like, that's a part of who I am. That kind of creativity, not creativity, but that part of like imagination play. I love playing in my imagination. And I've always done that. And I understand that it's a part of survival because I had to escape to my imagination, right? I get that. But I also feel like that's mine. Like that was just something that I had because not everybody does that to cope, right? Some people don't escape into their imagination to cope with the reality of what they're facing. because they have other ways of doing it, other coping mechanisms. But that was mine. So I feel like that's mine. My imagination is mine. It's not something that the trauma definitely influenced it and affected it. But at the end of the day, it's a pure thing. And like playing that game with him today, running around and jumping from rock to rock for like an hour, right? And I told myself too, I did the best that I could, because I told myself I was not going to stop that game until he stopped, because that's what I would have done if I was his age, right? And I would have hated the adult that was like, "Hey, we got to stop playing that game." I would have been like, "Why? We're having so much fun. This is a fun game." So I tried really hard, and then eventually I caved, but it was fine. It was totally fine. I don't feel bad about that. But I mean,
you hit the, just to like clear, you hit the markers too. Like you
yeah. I mean,
it was like, we're going to make it to here, and then we're going to make it to here. And you guys did all of that.
Yeah. It was really fun.
So you caved when the game was over, and he just wasn't ready to end it.
Yeah, he was still playing. But that to me is Craig. Like that's a part of who I am, is that imagination, that play. So I don't know if that helps at all in regards to kind of, discovering the Steph and who the Steph is.
No, I get that. And that's exciting, but that's not exact. Like I'm communicating a little farther than that. Like there would be nothing to build on. Cause like there's like everything keeps fading away. Everything keeps disappearing. Does it just disappear into where I know I'm going to just emerge, right? I know there's like a core in there that is me. My fear when it gets scary and I keep seeing like this, that like even just like discovering, oh, this isn't love, this is actually unhealthy. And all of these things, that there's nothing going to be left. Not like, oh, I don't want to lose this, or this is scary trying to figure it out. Just that there's nothing left. That it's too much, all of it. And so by the time the last layer falls, there's not like who I am, there's dust. That's my fear when I get scared, is that then there's nothing left. And I'm excited
to discover.
Yeah.
Do you think that what you're describing in some way is like the death of you? Because there's a part of like, you've had a...
It's really beautiful.
Right? You've had a picture of who Stephanie was your whole life. And she's slowly fading away. And then the rebirth of who Stephanie really is. Yeah.
That's actually really cool.
And death is a very scary thing.
I am grateful that I have other outlooks. I'm like, come on, a phoenix and all my things.
Right?
Right?
Yeah. What rises from those ashes?
So I'm actually more at peace. It's less scary when I feel like, what if everything falls away? Now I'm like, what if everything falls away?
Right.
Right.
All that shit.
Yeah.
All that stuff. All those stories. You can just let them all burn away.
Yeah. Let's see.
I think that feels really accurate.
Yeah.
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 Are you feeling... What are you feeling? Fuck, why do I gotta tell you what you're feeling? I don't fucking clue.
Right. I'm kind of nervous right now. I am excited and I'm fearful.
Yeah.
Yeah. My stomach is like pulling in, wanting to be protected. Yeah, that's that. How about you?
I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get so nervous when we do episodes that bring stuff up for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so good. Like I'm not, do you know what I mean? Like some of the greatest episodes that we've had are the ones where stuff comes up for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we just lean and lean and lean and go towards it.
Yeah, this one isn't even that big. It's
a
little
not.
stuff.
Yeah. But
it causes
me so much anxiety.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get so scared.
You used to be the one that was like digging like crazy.
I know. Because it's that thing where I want you to see what I think you need to see.
Oh, I was thinking it's that thing where you're an adrenaline junkie. You're like, how far
That's
can we
part of
push
it.
her?
Let's play with some fucking fire here. So I had this thing the other day, and Craig has been having epiphanies after epiphanies after epiphanies because he's doing a lot of inner work right now. A lot of inner child work, actually. That's one of the things that we were going to talk about on this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
I still can.
Don't tell me what you think I need to know. Help me find what I need to see. So the idea is I'm constantly I know what's best for you. And there is an aspect of it that is like narcissistic and shitty and all of that stuff. And I've been on that end of the spectrum. But I've also been on this end where it's just like it legitimately comes from a place of love. But that's a skewed perspective of what love is. But I didn't understand that. So I had this thought of like, why are you so angry at me when I'm trying to just help you? Because I feel like this is what is best. And so I love you and I just want you to be happy. So why are you angry at me, right? So the whole idea is I'm constantly trying to show you what I think you need to see. And that doesn't work. You know, maybe 1 out of 10 times that will work.
Yeah.
Maybe 1 out of 10 times I'm actually kind of like correct in a sense. Or maybe I'm not even correct. It just kind of happens to work out that way where 1 out of 10 times it works. And then 90% of the other times it does not work for shit. And all it does is create a bunch of tension between us and frustration on both ends because you're not letting me help you, right? Which obviously that's not the case because I'm not really helping you. I'm just like trying to tell you what I think you need to know or what you need. It's so funny on one hand, and then I'm just really frustrated on the other hand. And just the clarity around, oh, I get to just hang out with you while you figure out what you need. While you look at what you want to look at and what you need to look at for the moment that you're at, instead of being like, this is what you need to see, Stephanie. It's a 4 of hearts. Nope, you don't want to see the 7 of clubs. You want to see the 4 of hearts. So then for 3 weeks, I'll be like, 4 of hearts? Anybody?
3 weeks.
4 hearts? You know, I have this card, 4 of hearts. Maybe you need to look at it.
Yeah.
And you're just like, say 4 of hearts one more time, motherfucker. One more time.
I'm like,
So,
please stop saying that.
I am so grateful that I have awareness of that and can change it because it's not helping. And it hasn't. Like I said, 10% of the time it helped.
Well, oh my goodness. Last 2 episodes, I have not been able to stop yawning.
Yeah.
Are we creating new neural pathways over here?
Maybe.
Damn it. Oh, you had like I think it was last episode where you're like, don't like my path's going to be different from yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, that realizes your path was different and what works for somebody else, it's not, might not work for you. You got to go your own way. We can go to the same place. So that just kind of fit.
How does that sit with you? That idea that my path is different than your path?
It's fine.
What I'm saying is, do you ever struggle
Do we have different paths? We're not the same person.
Yes, I know that. But also, I feel like sometimes you're resentful. And even like resentful is a very impactful word.
It is.
But there's a small end of the spectrum with like, there's a like, not
How about you just tell me what you mean instead of describing the word resentful?
Like less than resentful, like tiny resentful.
Okay. Tiny.
A little bit of butthurt.
Okay. A little bit of butthurt. I got it.
I feel like you get a little butthurt sometimes when I'm not going the path that you suggest or that you think I should go.
Oh, when you don't do what I want you to do,
Yes.
what I think you need to see?
Yes.
Yeah, that does happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's like,
I know that I was right.
And nothing brings me bigger pleasure either, which is also shitty.
Fucking A, when I finally see it.
When you come around and I'm like, oh yeah, how about that?
That literally happens every time.
And I could just like be the bigger person and not rub it in. But then like I get super like, this is my fault, right? If you're like, you'll have this thing and it'll be all yours and all your idea. And I'm like, I'm glad it's so profound, Craig. And that's just because my insecurity is you don't value me and you don't see me and you always give the credit to somebody else. And so that's my insecurities with it. And I'm trying really hard to work on that, but I still very much fall to that.
I feel like there's these, it's probably us. We were having fun today in the shower thinking about our house is constantly active with stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like all the time there's energy moving around our house. It's not uncommon to be downstairs and hear people walking upstairs. We're constantly seeing movement in the corner of our eyes where you'll catch a glimpse of something. And so Steph had an experience last night that we don't need to go into, but the whole idea is that we are living so many different iterations of experiences, and they're continually not just bumping up against each other, but almost crossing paths with each other. So they're so intertwined that the people that we hear moving around upstairs are really just us in some other space, time, dimension, whatever you want to call it. And how funny it is that they hear us in the they're like, did you hear somebody downstairs? When they're upstairs. Or we were in the shower even today and we heard a noise outside of the shower, like in the bathroom or in our bedroom. And it's like, oh, that's just us brushing our teeth or something. Right. But I love that idea. And I love that concept of like, how funny would it be if you don't ever really leave your bubble, and in your bubble, it's just you.
Oh, I just feel trapped.
But the bubble is big. Like, it's not a tiny bubble.
I can't breathe. I'm like, what do you mean I can never leave? You know how I feel about commitment.
But we think that, like, all of these dimensions and realms and all this different place and stuff like that. But what if it's just all you?
Yeah.
So it's all you.
In the egg?
In the egg.
Yeah.
In a million different, or a gazillion different iterations.
Yeah.
And so it's like, sometimes we need to do DMT.
Yeah.
Like legit DMT at some point, because I want to see what's there. Like there's this other place that people go, this other realm, right? I want to see what's there. Yeah. But what if that's just us? Like, what if that's just Craig there? Right. Right. In the DMT version. And he's like, oh, here he comes. He's coming up from the 677,463rd dimension. Here he is. I love this guy. He's so goofy. Look at his fucking hair. He's so funny. Let's see what he says. And we can fuck with him.
Right.
And then you come back down to this dimension, right? But who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
I think it is, at least sometimes, because it definitely was last night.
Right. Was that you that scared you, or was that me that scared you?
I don't know.
Do you ever get a sense? I feel like I get a sense of its feminine or masculine energy.
Yeah. Well, then it was me, because that was my first thought, was that when it came through, I was like, when I realized that we had that like duality. And I saw that dimension shift. And it felt like, I'm like, what if that's just me?
Right.
So I think that one was me. I can see it being you.
Can you?
All the time.
Yeah.
And if we're like the same bubble, different reiteration in the egg, it technically is. Can you follow me or no? You couldn't.
Hold on. Do that again.
No.
Please?
You got it recorded
I'm
already.
Not teasing. I
guess
want to know.
Are.
I'm really not.
Like, what if it's just you? We're all the same like a gazillion times in the bubble, in the egg. And I said, if that's the theory, then that would make you me and me you. So it still would be you scaring me and me scaring me.
No, what I'm saying.
You don't get what I'm saying.
I do get what you're saying.
Okay.
Right.
I was trying to make a joke, but you made me elaborate on it so long that it sounds like I was rambling theory. And now I'm like, no, it's because we're all one, man. Right. Like, that's how I was coming off, instead of trying to like, no, understand my joke.
This whole idea of we're all one and that we're all the same, right? There's so much of that concept that I can get on board with. And then it's almost like there's a part of my brain that can't process it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you got a pain in your belly?
I do. It's fine. Just keep talking.
Okay. Because I agree with it so much. And it's especially like profound in regards to the way that I think about you and me. and this is probably some of that codependency stuff, but I think like how much we're not only similar, how so many times I feel like I am you, and then vice versa. And so it's really, I can really connect to it in the concept of you and me, but then to like spread that out to the 7 billion motherfuckers that are on this planet. And that's where I'm kind of like, I don't get it. I get that I have parts of me inside that are the same parts as everybody else in a sense, right? And whether we want to think of that as like the stardust or the energy or whatever that we're all stemming from and sourced from and connected to and through and all at the same time, the same stuff, that I get. But then there's this other part that's like, yeah, but they're not me.
Yeah.
Do you think the feeling of individuality that we have is by design, like it serves a purpose?
Yeah.
What do you think that purpose would be? Like if we're all the same thing and we're all the same person in a sense, or all the same energy, and we're not really individuals, we're just one expression of that energy in this moment, right?
Yeah.
Then what would be the purpose of us even having the concept or idea of individuality?
Because otherwise it would just be a single experience.
What do you mean?
Like if you don't have the concept of individuality, then you wouldn't have all of these various experiences that all feed into one. It would just be a single experience.
What if it is just a single experience? Like I believe that we could be...
That was my response. I'm like...
You're like, I don't know.
That was my... That's how I hold my end of the conversation. I'm like,
Fuck if I know.
What the fuck you say? I don't know. You just argued for this. Now you're arguing for that. I don't know. What do you want me to say? I will do better.
You're so funny.
You're funny.
You're funny. I think you and I are doing a good job.
You know what? I think we are too. And I'm not going to sit here and throw stones at past us, because past us was able to get us here. So
they did a hell of a job.
Yeah, they did.
That's what I don't want to throw stones at them either.
No, then put them down.
What do you mean put them down?
Put them down, rock thrower.
I'm not throwing stones. I just want to go figure out. I want to go mine that space.
You're okay to go mine it.
You want to come with me?
Oh, I'm constantly. Please, do I want to overanalyze something? I'm there. Like, come on.
You're cute. We have a fun evening plan. Let's wrap and go finish up and do what we need to do. Thank you for tuning in, folks. It's the Energy is Love podcast with your hosts, these people that you're looking at and or listening to right now. If you haven't yet, please go follow us on Instagram. That's an important thing for, I don't even know why, honestly. We would appreciate it. What we would appreciate... And YouTube and TikTok. What we'd appreciate even more is if you told somebody about this podcast. If anything that we ever talk about resonates with you and you're like, oh my gosh, this sparked something in me, then share that with somebody in hopes that it will spark something in them. We had a very long episode last week that was Craig ranting, and it had some good stuff in it. So you should go listen to it. But the thing that stood out to me was the importance of shadow work and people being willing to look at the things about themselves that they don't like. And if we all did, like, let's just all agree that we'll do 50% of our own shadow work, then I think that would like push the global scale of society over the hump into...
Definitely move the needle.
Right?
Yeah.
Like if we all did our own shadow work, even just 50% of it, that's going to help culture and society in the world at large. Right? So that's the encouragement. Anything else?
No, I think that's it for now.
Thank you for listening, folks. Go to energyslowpodcast.com. We're going to have merch next month, maybe.